Hiya, this is further explanation of the test that I posted with 0 degree arc furnace gas. The test stand is almost exactly the same, except I put the arc furnace into the ground so that it wouldn't be damaged from the stuff that we're about to do. So I've sucked out all the gas in the room here. There is a active vent inside the vacuum chamber that's just barfing gas out into the room. In the last test chamber, I had a pipe utility thing on there, but we don't really need the pipe utility. And then we have this IC10, and all that does is just automatically turn on the thingamabob. So let's grab iron ore, and we'll throw the iron ore in there, and we'll turn it on. And then the iron ore should start spitting out cold gas at 0 degrees Celsius. The reason it does this is because a sub-function is being run. I think it's called add energy or something of that nature, that if there was already an atmosphere present, it will take the temperature that the gas is in that square, in that cell, add the amount of energy burning that ore will increase it, and then that's your result. The next tick will be your increased energy level plus gas. There we go. It's done. Now that works for just about every ore. Let's grab some biomass. Here's some biomass. I'm going to show the biomass on the floor, and then we'll throw the biomass in there, and the biomass will start burning, and we're getting a lot of volatiles out of this. Plus our gas is going up very quickly, but we're still at 0 degrees Celsius here. Okay, now we can see that burning that biomass has given us an absolute huge amount of volatile gases. And we can see that there's a little bit of temperature on there, but that could just be that active vent wasn't sucking it up fast enough. But we can go over here, and where did that roll off to? There we go. We have 100 charcoal sitting there. Now let's vent this out again, because the next test we're going to do is going to show the exceptions. I'm also going to change the test stand a little bit. We're going to put pipes on here so that we can capture the gas and not really have to look at it in the room. So the first exemption that we're going to put in there is coal. So we'll stick coal in there, and we'll see that the coal got spat out right away. If we take our thingamabobber, and that shows nothing. That shouldn't show nothing, but it does show nothing. So let's move on to the second one. The second one is uranium. And did the uranium do anything? Ah, sorry. I know what I'm doing wrong now. So during my test before I started recording, I already ran these through the system, and you don't have unlimited usage of these things. You can't just get as much gas as you want out of them anymore. So I'll generate more uranium, and then we'll throw the uranium in, and we'll see that. So that is the uranium releasing some volatile gases, and not volatile gases, but volatile energy, and created a little bit of a blow up. And we can see that we have 300 degree gas in the network. We'll throw it in there again, and we'll see that it happens again. We'll throw it in there again. And like I said, you can't do this an unlimited number of times, but you can do this a few times. That might have been the last time. So let's check the gas. We're at, just wait till it stabilizes. There shouldn't be anything in the test chamber right now. We can check the chest chamber without actually opening it up by grabbing a passive vent, putting it on the inside, and then we can check the passive vent like that. Okay, so we got 11.1 megapascals. That's 1.75 kilomoles of looted stuff. We'll shove it back through again. And it didn't off gas. So that shows that we can only remove a certain amount of gas from the ores. This was implemented, I don't remember when, but it was implemented to stop people from putting ores through the centrifugal thingy, whatever the hell it's called, the centrifuge, and getting unlimited gas. So let's now vent this out entirely once again. Stupidly, just by opening the side up, but that's fine. And we'll throw a coal in there. Doo-doo. And we can see the same thing happen. It just gets spit out right away. We look at this, and we have 200 degree, whereas uranium was 300 degree. Where'd it go? Over here. And we can throw that in again. And again. And we have a vacuum in there. That is probably the last time. Let's check 3.41 megapascals, and we have 150 moles of pollutants and 500 moles of carbon dioxide. Throw it in there one more time. It shouldn't increase at all. And it doesn't. So let's kill this thing. Here we go. So those are the two exceptions that I know of. Let's vent this one more time. There. Now we can try throwing the charcoal down there. Now you see that it's in a stack of 100. We throw that down there. And it should ignite. It is igniting. There we go. And we've got 2 stacks. But they are 2 stacks of 50 because the 100 stack is technically an illegal stack. It sometimes glitches and gives you 3 stacks back, but not this time. So we'll look at what the gas was in there. And again, now we have 400 degree, and it's pretty high up there. It's 300 and 300 moles. So 600 moles together. And does it continue off-gassing? No, that's all we got out of it. We got everything out of it all at once. So if we look at our list of ores here, which is not everything because there's certain things that we can put through the machine that are not ores, uranium will give us 300 degree gas. All of these guys here, the silver, silicon, nickel, all of that kind of stuff will give us, actually, cobalt is one that I haven't tried recently. Then we have coal that will give us 200 degree, but all of these guys will give us 0 degree. Let's actually try the cobalt now. We'll shove the cobalt in. I don't think it'll do anything. We're at exactly 200 degrees. Actually, the cobalt does off gas as well. So let's do a real test on that one. We'll first destroy the cobalt that we already did, and we will vent the machine. Okay, now we're vented again. We'll get rid of that, and we'll generate a new piece of cobalt because, again, if you put something through more than once, it won't off gas forever. Throw that in. We'll see it light up. It spits it out, and we've got 0 degrees. So cobalt will off gas at 0 degrees. We've got volatiles and we got nitrogen. Let's put it through again to see if that will give us more. and it doesn't seem to want to. So it gave us 200 moles of stuff and no more. So that's fairly typical. It used to be, again, you could put it through the centrifuge and it would reset the off-gassing and you can get even more stuff out of there, but not anymore. Now, the arc furnace can, of course, off-gas other things as well. So if we look in here, we'll clear it again. We'll vent it again. So now we have that gone. We can kill that. We can kill that. So let's choose something else. Let's choose oxygen ice. And we'll choose liquid oxygen ice. There we go. Pick that up and we'll throw that in there and that will melt. Now, I do believe we might not be able, yeah, we're not taking up the gas as quickly as it's being melted. So we end up with the liquid oxygen actually coming out at whatever it's programmed to come out as. It's like negative 114 or something like that. Negative 217. And again, part of that reason is because we don't really have the facility to uptake liquid stuff in here. But if you were uptaking the liquid stuff, it wouldn't be as hard to control. Okay, now that we've cleared this out again, let's try something that is not going to generate puddles. So we'll go oxygen again, but this time we'll just go pure oxygen ice, and we will dump that in there. And then it's coming up at 5 degrees for some reason, but it stays at 5 degrees Celsius. We just make sure the test stand is clear, and it is not. Okay, we can see that it's still pumping out for some reason. There we go. So that released a lot of gas. That's probably one of the reasons why it didn't stay suppressed like it was for the rest of them. But we will switch back to another ore just to demonstrate that it is working the way we think it will. What are we going to choose? Let's choose lead. Lead's a nice one. Grab lead, and we'll throw lead in here. And lead is sucking out, and we can see right there that occasionally we might get a few ticks where gas exists in the vacuum chamber for longer than a second or two, but it is being released at 0 degrees Celsius. You might have also seen that the temperature was flickering a little bit. So if we go back over here, you can see that it goes 0, and sometimes it'll go negative 273. That's just because of how the fluid simulation works. So like when you're evaporating a liquid, the liquid will run down in temperature. It's not supposed to do that for gases. Gases are supposed to stay at temperature. I don't think if you shove a bunch of gas into a confined space, it'll heat up. And in real life, it does, but in the game, it doesn't. I think this is just a little bit of a goofy artifacting. Now, the temperature is going up right now, and that's because the nitrous oxide is precipitating out, as is the pollutant. So that's raising the temperature a little bit. But if it was coming out, they would both be in 0. So that's it. That's the demonstration. That's all you have to do. You just have to lock your arc furnace behind gas, make sure that it's in a vacuum, and then it'll output 0 degree Celsius gas. except for charcoal, coal, uranium, or pure liquid ice elements. And it's very hard to get pure liquid ice elements. Usually you just get the gas kind, which is something else that you can exploit. Because if you take oxygen, for instance, on Europa and you freeze it to a solid, and then you take it into a room and you melt it, it will melt at 0 degrees Celsius. So that's another exploit that you can do. Anyways, bye.